Hello, ladies. Welcome back to Sports and Mimosas. We're back again sooner than the last time.
I think we're closing out the year strong. That's
Yes.
what we can do.
See, we had not forgotten about this, even though you guys hadn't seen us in months before last week, but I'm excited that we are getting back in the flow. Of course, this is our last episode of the year just because of the holidays and stuff, but then we'll be back in full run in January. So we're excited for that. So, but how are you doing, Meredith?
Doing well. Doing well. I'm not ready for Christmas.
Me
Ugh.
neither. Is anyone else ready? Because I was
I
not
like keep
thinking it
looking.
was
I was like,
Tuesday.
oh, this is probably the worst I've ever been.
It's a week
Ever
from
been.
today. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have about one thing and it still hasn't gotten delivered. I've been checking USPS and I was like, oh, is this how it's gonna go? Is this
You're
how this is gonna go?
you're better than me. So if anyone's watching that receives something from me, it is coming and please charge it to my head, not my heart. Like it's just been crazy. I have not forgotten or
No,
not
yeah.
thinking about. It's just
I have
time flew
lists
by.
all over my desk. I'm like, buy this for this person, this for this person. But yeah,
Yeah.
just yeah. So
It's that
woo.
kind of year. Yeah, it's been a crazy year. So, as we know, we're going to be sharing a little later our top stories of the year, sports stories of the year. And it's just thinking back as I was preparing, I'm like, did that happen in 2024? Like, was that this year? Like, it just
I
seems
had that
so
too. I
long
was
but
like,
short.
oh, what happened? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I just
um,
added something too, so I have eight.
see, we'll think about it as good. And then when we sign off, we're gonna be like, oh,
Or
that
you're gonna
happened.
say something, you'll be like, oh, shit, I didn't even think about that one. Yeah,
Right, right.
that's what I'm waiting
So
for.
we'll get to that a little bit later, but I want to dive into this first topic that is very hot right now. It's been hot this week. This will be the last time that we talk about it in this depth because I feel like it really should not be news story, but
It shouldn't.
yeah.
No.
So Travis Hunter, who is a cornerback and a wide receiver. So he plays two positions for the
Offense and
Colorado.
in defense. Yeah.
Yes, for Colorado under Coach Prime. He won the Heisman. So the Heisman is the greatest athlete of the year,
For
football
college.
player,
Football
college
player. Yeah.
of the year. It is a very big award, obviously. People projected he was going to get it. He got it. Big O show. I think I don't remember what day it was. I did watch it.
It was Saturday.
But
It's always
Saturday, yeah,
Saturday.
I'm like, see, again, what day of the week is it right now? Like, where was it? Um, so he won. So he got a lot of attention from that, but then it quickly shifted to his fiance and what she did not do. And this isn't the first time that they have had criticism thrown at them. I guess prior, when people started really paying attention when he was really being talked about and coming over to, well, he was the number one recruit going in to college when he went to Jackson State, but when all eyes really got on him, um, it was attention to his girlfriend. Well, there was criticism around, I guess, saying that she pretty much is a gold digger or that she didn't want him at first. She left him in his DMs, in her DMs when he tried to holler at her. Um, and that until he started getting noticed, that's when she like wanted to talk to him. Then the next thing that we heard about was at one of their football games this year. Um, they had won. He went up to, you know, um, hug her and kiss her and everything into where his family was, and she had an attitude. So they're like, she's not happy for him, she's causing problems or whatever. And so then we come to this last one, which blew up, was at the Heisman ceremony. She was sitting next to him. Um, that was controversy because people are like, why isn't his mama sitting next to him and blah 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 and or his family and stuff. She addressed that, but that they said that she didn't stand up when he won, like Coach Prime did or whatever, and that Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, had to tell her to get up. So it was talks about that. And so she's not happy. Then the Saturday of that weekend, he had a signing event in with fans at the Adidas store in New York because the Heisman award ceremony is always in New York. So he was in New York at this signing event. She was sitting on the couch. He's taking photos with his fans. Um, at this point that the video is showing, he was taking photos with the staff, the Adidas employees, because the fans had already left. But she's sitting on the couch and they're having a conversation where she's asking, do I just sit here? What do I do? And then he's telling her what she could do. Like, you can go back to the hotel, you can go here, you could do this, because he had something else that he needed to do. And so then there was talks on Twitter and all of that, that she should know what she's getting into, and like he needs to be with a fan, or she's upset because he's taking photos with females, because when the video was showing,
Over the story. Not
yes,
you telling it, but
no,
like
right.
I'm already like
Right.
over
So
this. Like,
and so then saying that she was annoyed by him taking photos of a female with a female fans. Again, this was a staff person, but that was not the case. She came out with a video to address this. She had been taking it hard. Travis said there were some videos of Travis saying that, and then she felt she needed to address it. So on her TikTok, she came out with a video addressing each of those incidents and what really happened.
and I really hate that she even had to do
Had
that.
to do that. And so I wanted to bring it up, one, to tell you guys what's going on, give you some backstories in case you missed it, but also to get your point, for us to talk about that. Your thoughts on that. I know I said when I saw
The
that
look on my
video, yeah,
face. Like,
right. And I kind of figured what you would think, but I said when I saw that first video from the pop-up store event that he had to do, I was like, first of all, the way this starts recording, we don't know what they were talking about. Like, we don't have
like
that first thing.
with people, and I don't want to like blame younger generations or anything like that. Like, there's no way to know how to handle a situation until you're in it. That, like, I think you want to be a supportive girlfriend, but like, and again, I know nothing about this girl. I know no background. I don't know if
We're
she's an
just now
influence, like,
learning
all
now.
these people. I don't know this, but for what I know, she seems like a pretty normal girl. That, like, if like, I think, I mean, this is a bad example considering news that we'll probably talk about later, that like Joe Burrow's girlfriend was just like very like behind the scenes because you just like you don't I don't think you know. Like I think you're just kind of like it's my boyfriend's thing. I'm gonna let him go. I want to be supportive, but like I'm in this huge room. Do I go around? Like, do I? Because all she did was like a boy who became the Heisman finalist. So now her whole life is changing, and she's having to like make stupid videos that if she was dating Joe Schmo, she would never have to be like, I didn't stand
Right.
up, I didn't do this. Like, I just
Yeah.
think you just and like how everyone's like she has no idea she doesn't know what she's getting like because you can sit there you can have all the teachers in the world and it be like oh this is
And
not
it was overnight
nothing
that
prepares
now
me for this.
yeah, and it's overnight now all of a sudden you have this
Yes,
attention
and
on
it's like
you
she just
because
probably wanted to be and then like I think there's one, I think they're coming hard on her because I'm assuming she's a black African American woman. Is she an African
no,
American? She's not.
I don't know if she's African
She
American.
looked.
She's like
She is she
she looks
mixed?
mixed. She looks
Okay,
mixed,
she looks
but I
mixed.
don't know
But I
what
feel like
she
they're going to
is.
be
Yeah.
really hard on her because of that. And then I also think they're going to be hard on her just because she's a woman. That because if she would have like hugged him, she would. If she did anything to make that moment about her or make her present in that
Right.
moment, they all would have been like,
So,
"Oh, she's making this about her. She's in it for the wrong reasons.
yep.
She's in it for the
Which
spotlight."
they've
She would have like
which
they
they've
would have
kind of
done
already
that. So
been.
she's probably trying to be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm trying to beat that narrative." But now because she's doing that,
Yeah.
she's like creating another narrative. And I just think that's
So,
annoying
yeah.
that like I don't know. I just think that's stupid. And okay, but explain this to me because did they change where they sit for the Heisman? Because I
No,
thought
so
all the
she said
finalists are by each other.
no. So they're set next to their family when they're going through all of the stories. So each when you watch
Oh,
it, each
okay.
player gets their story told and they're
Oh,
sitting
okay.
by their family. But when it's time to announce who the winner is, then they all move together.
Okay, that's what I
So,
was like, wait,
yeah.
hold up. Did they switch?
So, yeah.
They
So
make it like the Oscars now, or
no,
is it
when you
just like
first
sitting?
see it,
Okay.
and it starts and it's going through the stories, he is sitting next to his fiance, Leanne, I think is her name. He's sitting next to her. Then it's Travis's mom, and then it's Deion Sanders, then it's Shador Sanders, and then it's Little Wayne, and then it's his high school football coach, I think. So I don't know why Little
Love that
Wayne
little
is
wings
down,
thing.
but that's who's next. That's who's in line at his
Okay,
group.
that makes more sense. Okay.
And so, um, but no, he was next to the all the finalists get sit in a row when it's time to announce who are the winner. Um, but so she in her video, I'm gonna say the scenario, like what she explains the scenario, which makes sense to me. So one, going back to she left him in his DM. She said he had a girlfriend at the time and she doesn't believe in cheating or messing up a home. So she did not answer it because she said he was with someone. And she said she had consent from or that approval from Travis to share this story. So apparently he was in a relationship. He slid in
I'm
her
just like mad
DMs.
that she has to explain all this to
Right,
begin with. Like, I just
right.
don't even feel like I mean, we're going to talk about it, but I
Well,
just feel
yeah,
like we
I
shouldn't give
I
it that
do
much
want to put
attention
it
because
out. Yeah, I do want to put it out
I'm like,
because
no,
she
she,
went out
like,
and said
who,
it.
I have tons of DMs. I would think
Yes.
if I had a public profile, I probably would have tons of DMs that I'm not going through. But I'm like, I
Yes.
don't care.
So
I
she
don't
said
care.
she didn't answer his DM until after he was single, and then that's when they started talking. So it
Okay.
wasn't like she was waiting till he was a big shot
No.
or bigger, but they had been dating since high school or known each other since high school. So then,
And this is my thing. Sorry. This is
yeah, no.
obviously a very okay. So say that's why she was in it. Say that's why she like
But
say he
he
was
slid
single and
into
she didn't do it
hers.
until he did it and he's okay with her doing that. So I feel like
Yeah, he kept pursuing
no,
it,
no,
clearly.
he's a grown man. He is a if he's okay with it, then
Yes.
fine. Like, sorry, I'm just
Yeah, no, no, because I totally feel like it's just people that you want to put your 2 cents. And this is where I don't like, where people can really mess up, and especially for young people, someone's relationship, because if they really took in all of this that they're hearing and just let it get to them, it looks like Travis has a good head on his shoulder and is humble and doesn't let this stuff affect him. And so I hope it doesn't affect their relationship because I think according to those videos of what Travis said, that this kind of hit her hard this weekend to where she was like crying and why she did the video where she explained it. And she said she would not address it again, which I don't think she should. And I felt it was valid, like her situations. Like there was a situation behind each. The one this weekend about her saying, "What am I supposed to do?" It was at the end of the event because he was obviously doing photos with the staff. So that means the event was over because you're not going to do the staff photos while it's an event going on and fans are coming.
yeah.
And she asked, "What should I do?" His family was back at the hotel. She was like, "Do I go back with them?" That was the
She
story.
doesn't know. Because
Right.
like I feel like, oh gee, hey babe, do you want me to stay with you or do
Or
you
do
want
you want me to
me
go
to
with the
go home?
family? Because
Like I
if
can go
you
home.
have something else, I can't go
Because
with
I
you or
don't want it to
something.
seem like I'm an unsupportive girlfriend.
Yeah.
So do you want me to come with you? Or
So
do
she's
you want
trying.
to do this and I can go
And
eat a
then
hot dog? Like
yeah,
what do you want me to do?
and then the thing about standing up at the Heisman, she did say that
She didn't think she was
she
supposed to. I saw this
right.
one clip. She thought
Yeah.
she wasn't supposed to,
Well,
and
and
then
she
Coach
didn't want
Trav
to
was like,
be
"Oh, that's your man. Go
yeah,
see
and
your man." Like,
she said she didn't stand up too because she
because his
saw the
mom didn't.
camera. Well, she said his mom didn't, and she saw that the camera's on Coach Prime, and she didn't want to be in the shot. So she was trying to stay out of it because obviously you can see where the cameraman's going when you're
Yeah,
live.
and of course they're going to be on Deion Sanders. Like, yeah,
Exactly. So I'm like,
no,
if
she
he
was
is
she was
supporting,
no,
and then I'm like, if you're seeing photos of him and her and he's posting it, they are okay.
no,
He's not upset. Why
bullshit.
are we upset? And I
This is
think
like
this,
why I could not do. Like, I think about it now. I would not want to like
you have to
marry
have thick
any.
skin. Yeah, you have to have thick
Like, I would
skin.
not
It looked like
like.
she became good, got I don't want to say good friends, but it looked like she got close to Robert Griffin, um, the third's wife, at the event because Robert Griffin, the third was a former quarterback. He is a Heisman winner. So they bring back Heisman winners. So he was there for like I think the Saturday event or maybe a pre-event or something. So she met her and they kind of like, connected or whatever. Like you're gonna need that support with another woman that goes through
That's how I
certain
feel. Like
things
you
like
gotta
that.
create that
Yeah.
little network. But
But I would just say to
you're
her,
probably like
like,
sitting there, you're like, "Ugh, I can't believe I have to like
right.
F and do this. Like,
But again, I just hope that they don't let this affect their relationship. They do seem like they're very in love. They are planning to get married, um, and that they just stay strong on it. But I love that we
and she
have the
probably
same
like
feeling on
wants
it.
them to just go pro so she can like I do feel like there's less scrutiny once you're pro.
Well, yeah,
I
then you
feel
won't
like
worry about it so much. But people are just,
Taylor Swift did a wags all the favors because it's like I'm not Taylor Swift, so nobody's gonna care about my life. Like I'm
yeah.
not that level, so y'all get to
Yeah, once you get there, it's all Taylor anyway. Yes, it
yeah,
doesn't
like you're fine.
matter.
Like let's just get you, let's just
Well,
get you
and
pro.
unless if he doesn't go to the Kansas City, since they're like the golden children right now, we won't hear from him anyway
No,
because that's all we
he's
hear
not
about.
going there. He's not going there because he's gonna be first round,
Yeah.
top of them, and the Chiefs
Well, I don't
unfortunately
want
have
him
a
to
winning
go
record.
there.
So
I don't want him to
yeah.
go
I was
there.
like, no,
So
they're not gonna be a part of the draft pick. It's gonna be fine.
I don't want him to go anywhere I don't want to cheer
Yeah,
for. So, because I do,
exactly.
he is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sending them the best and that they keep the public out and just keep focusing on themselves. Um, so another thing that happened, another woman in sports making history, Andrea Kramer, who is a sports broadcaster, and she's done a lot of the NFL, I think is mainly her sport that she covers. She was inducted into the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame. So sending her a round of applause, that's always amazing. But it made me think, who are because I have quite a few, and I'll share mine after, but who are some of your favorite female sideline reporters or broadcasters, analysts, anyone talking sports, female side? Who's
I'm
some of your
all
favorites?
Erin Andrews. I'll always be Erin Andrews. I feel like she was kind of the first one for our generation to really see go and take off, and the fact that she's had such longevity.
Hmm.
Like it wasn't something like, oh, she's aged out or anything. She's really done so well. And it was really awesome to meet her a couple of years ago because she just,
Oh yeah.
again, has done so well. And I also love Elle Duncan. I'll do Elle Duncan every day. Like I love
I
Elle.
just
And
love
those are
that
kind of
she's
like
on
my top two.
first
I like the
take.
others, but I don't, the following that I have for
Yeah.
Elle and Aaron, like
Yeah.
they can do no wrong. Those are the two
Yeah.
that, yeah.
And I think
I liked
ironically,
there was this girl last year. She wasn't a sideline reporter, but she was on NFL. It was Rachel Bonetta, and she got let go when NFL did all their like layoffs or whatever. She was so funny, and she like would do all these like spoofs and stuff on her Instagram, and I really miss her. Um, but I liked that she
wait,
was
what
like
was her
this really
name?
cute Rachel Bonetta,
Okay.
and she like did like she would do like she like did all these spoofs. Like she like recreated like a Mike McDaniel's like interview like in her kitchen and like she like dressed like him and everything. And then she did one where she was making fun of Russell Wilson, not making fun, but like reenacting Russell Wilson when he was in the Broncos. And he's like, let's ride. And then she like did it again. And like she like again dressed up and everything. And she's like, let's ride. And
Yeah.
like I just like she just did such great content. Oh my gosh, she did this
Hopefully she moved
one.
on to some another
She's
one
like
since.
doing like comedy and like doing some skits and stuff like
Oh,
that. But
okay.
she did this one whenever they went to London, the Vikings, and she like did this skit with like these two like British women at tea. And like she was like, oh, are you so excited for the game today? And like and like she just did it. And it's like her talking to her. So she like,
Yeah.
as like someone who like did broadcasting, I'm like, oh, the editing, like how she did this is great.
Perfect.
But like then she would be like, oh, I think I'm practicing because the Vikings do the skull thing.
Uh-huh.
She's like, oh, I got it down. And like it's just it was so like such good content. And I think it was nice to see like a female be funny and like like she was attractive, obviously, but like also just be like willing to look stupid or willing to poke fun at herself. And I just always liked her. But unfortunately she got let go. But
Yeah.
I'm a fan if
Well,
she ever sees this.
I
But
like
those are yeah.
I don't know if she was a sports broadcast. Oh yeah, she was a or she is an NFL correspondent, but Annie
Oh
Ager,
yeah. Hmm.
she like just the skits and stuff. She's really good too. I
Yeah.
love her weekly highlights. But going back, I think Erin Andrews is one of mine. And I think that's when we connected because Erin Andrews came to Junior
Junior
League's
League.
event and so we both got to see it. I was super excited about that. So we both got to meet her. But I think that's is that when we kind of started or we did like, oh, we both love Erin Andrews.
I
I
think
don't remember.
it might have
Or
been
did we
that
already
year.
start?
I
Yeah.
think like we had been friends and then that happened. And then I think like I remember because I got to ask her a question and everyone was asking her like all these like
Yeah, I remember you
leadership and all
did.
these like quotes. And I was like, dude, what's your favorite sports moment that you got to win? Because I remember
Was
everyone
it
else
with
was like
Tom
asking like
Brady?
really deep. No, hers was when the Red Sox won and she got to be with
Oh,
David Ortiz and he was like it was like the curse and
she
stuff like
told
that.
a
She said
story
like that
about
was
Tom
really
Brady, I think, though.
no, because I asked her, because
No,
I told
not for
her,
that, but I think she told.
oh, she like mentioned something about him,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Okay.
I
Well, that's
did,
what I thought.
I blocked that out, obviously.
You know
Um,
we block out Tom.
I was like, she probably did, and I just tuned out.
Yeah.
So I was like, ah, she said that name. Sorry. Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
check my emails.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have a
Um,
client call. Sorry.
yeah. No, but she is one of my favorite. I started watching her at College Game Day. And glad that she did transfer over. But Elle Duncan is definitely another one. She's probably at my top now, and I'm glad I watch. First Take isn't always my cup of tea. I don't watch it every, day, but I will watch it on Fridays because Elle Duncan is on there now, along with
That's what
Cam.
matters. That's what
Yeah,
matters.
Cam Newton and Ryan Clark. So I do love the Friday episodes, but she is one of my favorites. Another one that she moved away from just sports per se, I think. I mean, she has a new sports show, I think. But Jamel Hill, she was my favorite when she was at
Mhm.
ESPN. I really loved
I remember
her. And
her.
so I followed her since. And I loved Pam Oliver, but she did get a lot of criticism and she still is working, but I loved
I
Pam.
remember that I was she was in my head.
Yeah,
She was
and
in my
she's
head. I
at
was like, there's someone.
Fox.
What did she do a lot of SNL the Saturday it's not Saturday, Sunday night SNF? Was she
I
Sunday night
I think
sometimes?
so because she was on Fox. Well, she was on
She was
Fox
always
and
at
she
night.
she
She was
switched with
always at night.
Aaron. When Aaron came,
So she must have
Aaron
done
became the main person and Pam went to the B
did
squad, I
she get
think
Monday
was.
night? Like I feel like she was a nighttime reporter, so I always
Yeah.
liked
Well,
her.
she was like a
Yeah.
prime time. She was like A squad and
Hmm.
then Aaron moved over to the Fox
Hmm.
crew and she moved up. But Pam Oliver used to get a lot of criticism about her hair. Like it
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
done correctly to
Because they're
people's
gonna criticize
liking.
any woman.
Yeah, but I loved her. I got to
I
meet her
loved
at an
her too.
event like years ago, but she was one of my favorites. I think those are my top favorites that really like, oh, it's them like, oh, I got to tune in. I do like
Yeah.
that talk sports though, Joy Taylor.
Hmm.
I do love that she is one of the women in the spaces that can is on an opinionated show where she can give her opinion. A lot of women aren't on those kinds of shows.
Could you
Elle
imagine?
Elle now is
That's
on
getting
First
so
Take.
much trouble.
Right.
That's
Elle
getting
now is on First Take, so she gets to give her opinion, but
yeah.
mostly they're like the hostess where you're just um
Hmm.
leading the dialogue and kind of
Yeah.
moderating it, but you're not able to give your
Yeah.
opinion. So those are mine. So all right, let's move in. As we wrap up this episode, we wrap up this year, a great Kobe year. It flew by. I wish I just could have focused more on my Kobe year 2024, but I'm ready for my
Where did it go?
My Reggie Bush era
I like it.
2025.
I like it.
But what are some of your top sports moments of the year?
So I want to start off with
How many do we have
my
alike? I can't wait to see that.
what?
If we
I
do,
know, that's
how
what I'm
many do
really
we have
excited.
alike?
Um, I wanted to start off with Scotty Scheffler's incredible golf year.
Yeah.
He had so many wins. I had to pull it up because I was not going to be able to remember them. He won the Masters. He won the Arnold Palmer Invitational. He won RBC Heritage. He won Memorial Tournament. He won the Travelers Championship. He won the Olympics. And he also won the Tour Championship. And then he recently just won the Hero World Challenge.
And got arrested
He
for
also got
trespassing,
arrested. He got arrested this year.
but
He had a
still did all
baby. His
that.
wife had a baby. So, I don't know how in the world he's going to top it. And I think like you could listen to any other of our podcasts about just how I really love golf because it takes so much to be good at it and it takes so much to be consistent at it. And again, I mean, he's very far behind, like I think Tiger's caliber whenever he was in his prime, but I don't think we've seen the last. I just think it was so incredible to
I
watch.
mean, to
And
do
like
all
he's
of
such a
that
good
this whole
guy.
year,
Hmm?
I said to do all of that this year and to
Yes.
have some downs, like he's had
Like
a
there
crazy
was some
year.
that like but like he also again just to tell you how like crazy golf can be. Like he like some of the ones he won, he came from behind. Like he starts off really strong or like he'll be like below like he'll be like tied for six at the way or like tied for 10th by the start of the game and then all of a sudden he's like behind like second with like the bottom like the back eight to go. And I'm like, Scotty's gonna freaking win this. Scotty's gonna come back from behind
But aren't
and
those the
like do
best
this.
moments too when it's
And
like,
it's
oh,
so
they're not
good.
gonna
It's so
win,
good. And
but
I just love that he got the master. I just again, he's like my favorite golfer. And so just to watch him do so well and like and again, it's not like he just like does everything perfectly. Like he'll start, like he'll go behind, he'll start really strong, and then he'll like have that
yeah,
Saturday where it's like, oh, and then Sunday, I don't know what happens after like 3 p.m. on a Sunday, but he just goes.
yeah,
And it's been so great to watch. So that was my number one, but not ranking in any order, but I was like, I have to talk about this.
yeah.
My last one is petty, so I'll save it. I also I've just loved Jaden Daniels' story of how he is
Yeah.
in the running. I think Bo Nix might get rookie of the year offensive. But I think Jaden, how he had one, he like again, he was a Heisman winner. He was he second pick in the draft? He was something like he
Yes,
wasn't first, I
behind
don't think.
Not
My
Bryce.
God, sorry, there's like a fly. Uh
I can't think
and
of who it was, but yeah, I think he was second.
he the fact that he's just changed the Commanders completely and how I'm so happy if he does the Hail Mary catch again and he takes that away from Aaron Rodgers. I'm happy if he's our generation Hail Mary champion. But I think he's just such a good guy on and off the field. So to see really how strong just that quarter like again that whole franchise got turned around because they put
Yeah.
him in his
And it's
and I think
another
that he every wait, what?
no, I was just gonna say it's another LSU quarterback who
Yes.
was
And
really good and came.
I think that I'm really happy that he was able to go and do that because I think like I went on a date with somebody and they were like, well, you know, Jaden's not Joe. And I was like, well, he couldn't be Joe. Like nobody was going to beat
He didn't get the
like
championship,
Joe's
but he
like
still
he
was
didn't get to have
Heisman
yes,
and
but he also
drafted
like
high.
Joe had first of all, Joe had an incredible team. I'm not taking anything away from Joe, but Joe and that
Yeah.
2019 team just had so much swag
People
and
still
so
talk
much
about
like
them. Yeah.
loudness, like they just demanded the field and all this stuff that like Jaden didn't have that, and even if so, like he couldn't do it because it'd be like, oh well, that's Joe Burrow's team. Like like he never had a chance to come in with all this swagger and everything. Like he just did his work and he did so. So I'm so happy to see him go to the NFL and like
Mhm.
still be able to be great. And everybody like I don't know, like it just really bothered me because they're like, well, I didn't like him as much, and I was like, because he couldn't do that. Joe had already done that. So if he would have done it, everyone would have been like, oh, he's just trying to be like Joe. So like he was just the quiet kid who was like, oh, I'm going to use my press day to I'm not going to go to the NFL combined and I'm going to have you all come so my teammates can get attention and how like he just used it. Not that Joe didn't do it, but like Jaden just used a lot of his fame for good. And I just was really happy to see that he's doing so well. He beat your Saints this week. I'm so sorry.
I was
In
there
the
and
bizarre way, in a very
yeah,
bizarre.
No, I was
Yay.
there, and to see him in person, he made some great things that it
He's
was
coming
like,
to Dallas next year, and I really
yeah,
want to go.
it was like, yay, Jaden, but no.
No.
Like, I'm proud of you
Yeah.
from the LSU side, but please don't do that right now.
Yeah.
But
He's
he's
like,
good,
ah.
yeah.
I also another LSU player, Paul Skeens, just to have
Yes.
the like rookie season that he did. I really can't wait to see where he goes because again, just God, I like could talk
And
about
that's
it forever. Like
our baseball player,
that's our
pitcher.
baseball player, Pittsburgh Pirates. Like broke so many records,
Yeah.
throwing fastballs like it's nothing. Um, I'm just happy to see again success to come out so quickly and it
Yeah.
follow. I also really like the WNBA growth. I really like, we've talked about it in all our podcasts.
Yep.
Is that on yours?
Yes,
Uh,
no, it is.
I just really like that it's finally getting the recognition that it deserved.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the like I do not think it's all Caitlin Clark. I think you have the Angel Reese. I think you
Yeah.
have finally the Liberty winning this year. I think, honestly, their mascot has made a name for herself. Like I think that
Girl,
just kind of seeing
I'm a
that
Ellie
franchise,
fan.
yeah, everyone's like, how can you not be?
Right.
I've really liked seeing it grow. I my Celtics, my second favorite basketball team, won this championship this year. It was
And
really hard for
Deuce.
me. I know,
And
Deuce
Deuce.
one. We really, I think that was one of the last ones that we filmed before. I know,
Yeah.
remember being like, I just want it for Deuce. I
See,
really want it for
that's
Deuce,
how upset I was that the Boston Celtics won and not my
but we didn't have
Lakers
a
nowhere
podcast.
near. I was like, I'm done.
Dude, what is that? What is that? I also, Joe Burrow's the year this year. I just always have to talk about him. I think he's been great, putting up credible stats. I think if he had a winning team, that without a doubt he'd be
Yeah.
MVP. And I think a lot of people are saying that. That I mean, Josh Allen probably has it secured after his last 4 games, but Joe just but
Well, and
then
then coming off of an injury too, I still think
yeah,
like he's still getting back
he's
to
gonna be
him.
fine.
Yeah.
But with all of this burglary drama, it's like now everyone's saying that the girl who called from the inside, apparently she's like some influencer. I don't know anything about her. Has the same name as his ex-girlfriend, supposed
Joe's
ex-girlfriend.
ex-girlfriend.
Like no one, yes, because no one, it was never confirmed that he and the first Olivia broke up. Um, and now they're, but the new Olivia is like some influencer, like in Sports Illustrated and all this stuff. And like she called from inside the home, and everyone was like, "Do you think she staged it so Joe would have like so that news would get out?" Like, it's like this whole thing, and I feel
Wait,
so bad
he
because
he dated because I didn't know. I don't follow his girlfriends, and I know he's not as open, but he dated two Olivias in a
yeah,
row.
back to back supposedly. So like
Oh,
his
okay. So he
long
loves
term girlfriend
Olivias.
was Alizia Holtzmacher or something like that, and she was really cute. I really always liked them, and she like went with them. Like they met in Ohio. She came down like through thick
Oh,
and
from
thin.
home.
Um, the last post that they were seen together was at the end of January, and we have not seen her. She hasn't said anything about like this year or anything like that. There's speculation that when he buzzed and bleached his hair, that was the equivalent of like
Oh,
when a girl goes through a breakup and she cuts her hair. But no, nothing has been confirmed. But now the burglary, there was a little cute thing named Olivia, not his Olivia, um, who called the cops.
yeah.
And they got the lead, and I think it came out that it was Joe Burrow's house. And so now she's tied to it. And there's like this speculation that she did that on purpose, that maybe she staged the burglary so she would have to call. It's like all this
Mm,
stuff. And I really hate it because I do think that Joe wants to be a private guy. And I do feel
yeah,
like NFL
I get that.
players, I think that there's a fine line. I think that there are some who are like, I really just want to play back. I just want to play ball. I really
Yeah.
just, and like we put them on this trajectory of like pedestals and oh my God, like I get that. But I think that there are some who want it. And I think that there are some who are just like, just let me. And like his whole like press conference, I talked about it last week. Like he was just like, I know that I chose this life, but it doesn't make it easy.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's just very, been very interesting.
I think
So,
he's definitely one of those, like you're saying, because he like his routine of preparing
mhm.
for a game and he really can't even talk to his parents. So I
Yes.
was like, oh yeah, is gonna take a special woman to know, okay, like we are not having any date night or anything during football
Yeah.
season if it's around a game time. And
Yeah.
you have to respect that. And he kind of shuts out everyone because that's how he prepares.
Yeah, I
So
remember that. He like
yeah,
has a very strict and they're I mean again
yeah,
all those athletes are pretty superstitious. So yeah, it makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
So that's just kind of what I've been liking. This is
What's
my
your
petty one,
petty?
but
I was about to say, where's
this is
the
not my
petty
petty one yet.
one?
But I think I have been fascinated. I think I talked about it last week for a hint. The Giants franchise
Oh,
is insane to me because how they've handled Daniel Jones, how they handled getting rid of Saquon, that like you literally like I don't
and
know
now
how this
this
happened.
plane
And
with
it's
the
just like you
signs.
think like Saquon, like losing Saquon, you're like, okay, well the season's a bust. And then they have like Daniel Jones drama of like you think it's like low and it just keeps getting lower
Lower.
and lower. And then now there's planes on every game that's threatening, we're going to do this until you fire everyone. And it's like, you
Yeah.
like used to be a respected franchise. And like, what are y'all doing? Like, I think it's just as someone who did cheer for them and to watch them do this, and it's just like,
Yeah.
now y'all don't even have like any dignity. Y'all don't have anything like to really
I think they took,
like
and I
what
think
like
they
what do y'all
they stole the moment from Aaron Rodgers having a bad season because their messiness is just crazy.
because you don't even know who the Messi is. Like it's
Yeah.
just like, is it this? Is it that? Like
Because
no.
that is
So
like literally everyone, and definitely from the top. And now you're like affecting your fans or
everyone.
paying money for a sign to go across the field, like the
Yes.
stadium. Like
Like
that's
how do
crazy.
you tell people that you do not have control of anything like
Like
that?
I'm not buying
Like
season tickets.
no.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I would probably be like, I'm gonna have to think about renewing because I don't see any change and
And it's
there's no
crazy because
way.
again, it's a New York franchise. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's already brutal, but the fact that like it was $1 to get into your yeah.
Yeah. I would so wish we took advantage of that, but yeah, no, those were some good moments. And I know there's gonna
You
be
want my
more
petty
that.
one?
Oh, that wasn't your petty one yet.
That was not my petty one.
What is it?
My petty one
Who
is
is
Giselle Bundchen to come out that she is pregnant with her kickbox was it kickboxing or her
her
jujitsu
trainer?
her
Yeah,
trainer
jujitsu.
and I because I literally everyone for the readers I texted Erin and I was like
Yes.
good for her to because for those of you who don't remember Giselle was married to Tom Brady, they got divorced and it was a very ugly divorce, and the fact that he had a terrible season after their divorce did not help the divorce proceedings. And then, but it was always rumored that she possibly was like
Started
with
dating him.
her instructor. And so the fact
Clearly,
that
she
she
was.
is pregnant with her instructor, I just
At
really love
one
it. And
point, she was.
apparently, when news came out, he like posted like some Instagram story with like landslide playing or something. Everyone's like,
Yeah, like
is
right
Tom
after
okay?
it was announced, like he did. I remember seeing that. I don't remember what it was, but it was something where people were like,
Is
hmm,
Tom okay?
is that
Yeah.
for Giselle or is that about Giselle's
Like you just
situation?
feel like okay. So
Yeah,
that was my top
you're
moment.
petty. You love that.
I was like, good for Giselle.
I
Good
do
for
have
her.
a petty one too, but I'm like, I don't want to
Yeah.
be mean, but
Throw that
I'll
petty
say
one
it.
in there. Throw that petty one.
So definitely the WNBA has been one. I think it's been very exciting. And I'm can't wait for the next year, for the next season, which should be starting. We'll start next year, but definitely excited about that. Um, getting to see it's something more personal, excuse me, coughing, sorry. A little bit more personal, but getting to see LSU and South Carolina in person play. That was at the start of the year. So that was really, excuse me, having a choking moment. Ooh, it went to all this time. But that was the big one. And then South Carolina winning. Um, so a little bit of the petty, like Caitlyn didn't get her championship, but like that doesn't stop her success or no shade to that. I'm just happy that South Carolina did win. Definitely the Olympics. Like it was a great Olympics overall, but that redemption team with Simone Biles, the gymnastics girls,
I
and
forgot the
then
Olympics. Is that just like
yeah,
show you how my life was? I just completely forgot about the
I
Olympics.
I
I love
wasn't
the
thinking
Olympics.
that either, and I just finished watching Simone Biles documentary on Netflix, her last one. And I was getting chills watching that, but that was a really good whole summer Olympics, I think, for the US
It's a
was
good one.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was a good moment. But definitely that redemption team. And even though there was an upset there with Jordan Childs
I
winning
know.
and then having to give back her medal,
It's
but
just so poorly handled.
yeah, I hope they fix that before the next 4 years when it'll be in LA. So, um, then sad one, Nick Saban retiring, but that we've talked about that like our just childhood in football is pretty much over. Like everyone is out.
Oh, that is
Um,
weird when you think about it that way.
yeah, like it's all new people.
Yeah.
Like the ones we were watching are now the coaches. Like so many of them
Yeah.
have gone into coaching. And then now Nick Saban's on
Unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers
TV.
just stays here.
Yes. Um, Then the Dodgers winning the World Series, of course, and that being a great series. Shohei getting
I can't believe you
700
had me
million.
cheering for them. I can't believe I was
Right.
actually cheering for them because I love Freddie Freeman. That I was like, if he gets to be the MVP, I'm for this.
Right. It was a
Because
good year for
anytime I can see
LA.
the Yankees go down, I'm fine.
Yes. But along that, I mean, it's not my top, but still a big story that happened with that. Of course, Shohei got 700 mil. I don't know if that was announced last year coming into this year, but then Juan Soto leaving the Yankees for bigger than
It's like 726,000.
720, yeah,
A million, sorry,
million
726 million.
to go to the Mets. So
Which,
he went
like,
to the
I was talking about this,
rivalry.
and I know that this isn't a time for debate, but wh what has he done to get that much money?
Well, they said everywhere he goes, I have not paid attention to Juan Soto's career like that. Now, when we went to the Padres game when he was with the Padres, what, 2 years ago, like he was a big deal there too, and everyone was like
He hasn't
cheering for
won over
Juan.
there.
But
Like,
then he went to the Yankees. Yes, he got them there, but they didn't win. So I'm like,
I don't like that's where I am like I don't want to
but
seem
they
like a
said
girl who
every
doesn't know sports, but I'm like I don't get this one.
yeah.
Like
Well, I mean,
Shohei,
I
there was
guess
so much off-season talk about it. Like there was so much
yeah. But I
banter
guess
that I was
Shohei
like,
never won either, and he was in a bad situation with the Angels. So, but his first year going to the Dodgers, and he didn't even pitch. He didn't even do everything that he
yeah.
could. He only
Yeah, like
hit.
that's where I was like, I got that one because I feel like you always heard about him, like
Yeah.
whether he like you know what I mean? Like it
And he
was
still played and did something.
yes, to where I'm like, okay, you were on the losing team of the World Series and you got that much money?
So
And
it'll
so
be
like that's just
interesting to
where
see because I just saw what are we 100 days or less than 100 days out from
MLB.
spring MLB coming back spring ball or spring
Yeah.
training. Um but it'll be interesting to see will he get the Mets to the World Series? Will he help do that?
Well, like the Mets, like I was talking about this the other day. Like the Mets have been like a excuse my language, a shit show because recently they remember when they got like Verlander and they got Scherzer and did they have Trey who they had all this was it Bell they had all these
Well,
people
because they made it to
and
the
they had to give
playoffs.
them away because they didn't do anything. And I was like,
Well, I guess
okay.
Juan will save them. We will see. He better do something. They better go to the World Series
I'm
for
like, y'all are a
that.
shitty team. How do you have so much money?
But and I think pretty much that's going to be his last team because of the
I'd
contract
hope so.
years.
Because
Yeah.
imagine having to pay him after that. I don't want to do that
Right.
again.
It's a big pretty big contract.
No.
So he should be there. So he only had to move, I guess, whatever which way the Mets are from the Yankees, but he's
Like
staying in New
North.
York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody made a joke
Um
with like that much money you could buy
yeah.
the whole city, the
Yeah.
whole borough.
Have a whole building. Um But I guess my petty moment would be going back to Aaron Rodgers that you still didn't do anything, sir. And it was all this talk, and you're like, nothing.
He needs to go.
Well,
He
you're
just
not
needs
nothing,
to go.
but your your team is
He's
not.
washed up. I think he's washed up. I don't know what
Are you gonna watch
was
his
said in that
documentary?
conversation, but wait, what?
Are you gonna watch the documentary or have you on Netflix? Like his whole, I think it's
I
Netflix.
don't know. I don't know because it's like one of those things where like, do you give this man any more attention?
But then I want to know what he said. Like, what's his
But like
excuse?
I'm also
Like,
like,
what?
what crazy shit does he
Yeah.
say in this to be like that's how, yeah.
Yeah, we might have to watch it just to see.
Like
But
for yeah.
yeah,
What if we did that one year? Like what if we like did like I listened to this podcast called The Rewatchables and they just like talk about movies that they watch, like movies that are rewatchable. And I was like, oh, like what if like one episode we just like choose our like best sports movies or like our best like sports documentaries or something. Like, yeah,
we
that'd be
should
fun.
because I think for our ladies that don't necessarily like sports or get in, a movie is a great way to gain some interest. Like if it's a really
Honestly,
good
yeah.
movie with a storyline, but you still get to connect to whatever sport that movie's talking about. Like remember the Titans. Like if you were not into football, watching
My
that,
favorite movie. Favorite movie.
yeah, you're like, "Oh my God, like look what this sport did." Like it literally brought two races in a time period together and showed you that we are just alike.
Yeah,
Guys on different tracks. We're just alike. And then obviously I loved it too that the little girl just
that
loved
was me.
football.
That was me. That
Yeah.
was me at 10. I remember in the movie theater with my parents and they were like, well, there's
There
Meredith.
there is a football coach. I don't know if it's college or high school, but his daughter is into it too. I saw that story and I was just it made me think back to that movie and just like, oh, I love that she's
Always
into it.
remember, it's one of the female basketball coaches too. She has a little girl.
That's always
It's in
in.
college. Do you remember that? They like showed it during like March Madness or something, and she's like doing all that like and she's like yelling and stuff like that. She's just like her
I
mom.
love
And I
it.
remember being like, oh, I really love that the women now get to like the little girls now get to see it so much because
Yeah,
it was so
they're
rare with us.
represented. Like they're seeing the
Yeah.
players and then they're seeing their moms or the coaches, the women coaches
Yeah.
like Dawn Staley, Kim Mulkey that are
Yeah.
doing things. So,
Yeah. I think we should do that. We
but
should do a
yeah.
sports film episode. And a
Yeah,
sports documentary episode too, where we have to watch Aaron Rodgers for like homework.
we do. We do.
That's what we have to
But
do.
if you have one, please share it with us. Like send it
Yes.
to us through Instagram, or Sports and Mimosa, the newsletter, like reply if you're on our newsletter. If you're not, please subscribe. But let us know what you watch, what you like, or what is your favorite sports movie. We would love to poll that and what are the best sports movies out there that you think. Um, but thank you guys for joining us. I'm sure there'll be more sports that we think about moments that have happened in 2024. Again, it was just a crazy year, but thank you for going on this ride with me for Sports and Mimosa and having girl chat, doing this podcast, and I can't wait for us to do more episodes next year in 2025, Reggie Bush year. And now that he's like back, I feel
What number was trying to think. Hold on.
that's gonna be the 25 is Reggie Bush year. You got a
Was
player that had 25?
I have to like think about it for a second. Is it I
We're
feel
gonna
like
have
I
to
know
pull
somebody else.
together the best players that were 25
That'd be cool.
and find out what is your year? What athlete do you relate to?
Barry Bonds had 25.
That's a good one.
Richard Sherman had 25.
That's a good one too. We're gonna pull that together. And you figure out which one you like. That's gonna be your year, or it could be your year. I'm not gonna tell you what
Some
the year
people that I kind of
is,
forgot about. I'm like,
but
ooh, oh, that didn't age well. There's Sammy
but
Sosa. I was like, ooh, that didn't
oh yeah.
age.
That's a
Mark
whole nother
McGuire.
Sammy
even though
Sosa is a whole nother person
drugs,
now.
there's some drugs there.
But but yes, thank you for tuning in again with us, ladies. Again, like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back next year. Follow us on social media. Subscribe to the newsletter, and catch up on past episodes while we are away over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
And see, and send us
Um,
what you want to hear in 2025.
Yes. What is something that you started paying attention to? Have questions about what you want to learn about, all of that. So, and we'll have more guests on next year. Lauren will be back with us, as a special guest, and we have a couple other ladies that we want to reach out to. We definitely want to have Carla, who was with us. I don't know if not last year, but the year before, but she's been a guest. Good friend out in Cali. We want her to come back.
Oh, it
So
was the year before because the Chiefs won. And remember how we made fun
yes,
of how Travis Kelce lost his
yeah,
shit? He's like, do it. You haters are gonna
yes.
hate. And so I was like,
I hope next
no, like
year
no
is
one
going to
hated
be,
you. We just didn't want you to win. Like we don't hate you.
yeah,
Now we
Travis.
hate you. Like 2 years ago, I was like, oh no.
Now. So,
If you did that now, I'd be like, okay.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Very true.
But yeah, more
Um,
people, more
yeah.
fun.
So
Hopefully
I'm
more
excited.
episodes.
Yes. We it will be. We're back at it because we have a lot to talk about, and I feel like it's going to be some good stuff to talk about in 2025 with our sports. So thank you, ladies, for tuning in. Thank you, Meredith, as always, for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and be safe out there.